Hi, this is Adekyn again with another mission walkthrough for Reign of Augustus. This one, the Siege of Napata, an excellent mission. As you can see, I'm just getting started here on pause. I'm queuing up my research and drafting my squads. And next, we're going to go up and take a look around to see what we're looking at strategically here. So here we go. This is out away from us on the opposite side. You can see all the trade routes we want to capture, all the milestones. And the places I'm circling there are good choke points where we're going to set up defenses. We're going to do a combination of troops and walls to protect us, but we're not going to try to wall in the city. I find walling in a city is very difficult and really constrains the size that you can make the city. And you can watch me here. I'm putting these aqueducts out pretty far because I intend to build a pretty good sized city here. I think some people, when they play a military mission, they tend to really turtle up in a really tiny little ball, and you end up with too weak of an economy. You really need to be aggressive and go get some land and expand and have a strong economy in order to handle a military mission, because it's all about having more troops than the other guy. Great tactics and battlefield tactics are fine, but superior troops are definitely the best strategy possible for a military campaign of any type. So I'm just setting up my initial build here, where we're going to place the fountain, kind of the center of our first community, and how's it all going to look. So now I'm establishing the basic production. That's the first thing that I always do, is set up my wood, my stone, my bricks, and farming, of course, and that way I can feed these folks. So I'm just trying to kind of squeeze this and maximize the space and use it as well as possible, as efficiently as I can. Because even though you have this huge map, you really have a lot of space constraints in the game, because you have to build around the buildings that supply the entertainment, the food, the religion, and you really want to use your space well. And that's probably another reason I'm not a big pretty city guy who builds all the promenades and stuff, because I want to squeeze buildings into this space. So I'm just setting up infrastructure, and your typical build always should be, your working class first, your insulae and the food and the things that you need to support them. So I'm setting up a good supply of bricks, good supply of lumber. I'll grab that iron mine over there while I'm here, and we will be in very good shape. And you can see the crime button popped up. Why? Because we haven't fed these folks yet, and they're tired of waiting. So now we should be fine with that. We get these mills going. I used to always just build one mill, but as long as I have plenty of money, I've gotten so now I just go ahead and build two or three, because I like to use the butcher, baker, inn, and tavern combo, and that takes up a lot of flour. It takes up, you need flour and wine basically to use that kind of a strategy. So you'll notice I'm going to build, eventually I will build, the first three farms I always like to get out are wheat, pigs, and wine. Grapes, I guess they are, so that I can deploy the build strategy I like to use. So right here you see I made a goof. I hit the wrong hotkey and I started building another butcher, so I'll have to kill him. That's going to cost me a little popularity, but when you make a mistake, you have to pay for it. So I'm continuing to build out, and notice I'm following my usual strategy of building away from the center. And now it's time to lay down my forum. You have to be careful and resist the temptation to build your forum too soon, because if you do, you're going to eat up a lot of resources building it, and it's going to really actually delay your build. So getting that timing right, you want to kind of basically look at the way it is right here and establish your food and get your happy insulae, and then build your forum. Do it in that order, and make sure you get that production even before that, the production of the resources you need. Because if you don't, you're going to have a big delay while you wait on that forum to stop. You may even bankrupt yourself. I have actually had to restart games where I just totally messed up and built the forum too soon and just couldn't recover from it. And I have a feeling some of you have done that as well. So I'm putting in a school to get some better research and getting the temple, so I have some income coming in right off the bat from religion. And we're off to a pretty good start here. Just a basic start, just like I always do. The one thing I did do, of course, is I took my 3 histati, moved them out to grab 3 of the trading areas. But I'm going to pull them back for defense, at least a couple of them, because you can see down here, you saw down there in the lower left, we have an enemy coming toward us. So they're already attacking. You can see it was pretty quick. They didn't give us a ton of time. So, because I'm generally a pretty fast builder. I use a lot of hotkeys and zap, zap, zap. And plus I've got a character that allows me to do a lot of fast building because he can really bring in the resources. And even at that, they're already attacking us, and we're into the game under 6 minutes. So I'm gonna set up a defense. Now here comes an inn. I'm going to put an inn in here, and that'll get my entertainment going. And reason I like to use that inn tavern combo is it gives you the entertainment and boosts your food all at the same time. Odiums are great, but they don't give you any food, and this way you get both. And that unhappy equite up there is going to be quite happy when he gets that inn popping, and he's got a job working in an inn, and he's got food and entertainment and the whole bit. So I'm going to have these 2 guys be my defense, because you can see here it's just one attacker. So we should be okay double teaming him, even though our troops aren't trained. So that's a little iffy, but we're fine. We should be good with that. The other guy went ahead and captured that trade post because he was just too far away. He wouldn't have been able to get back in time to help us with the battle anyway. So I want to go ahead and establish just a basic build. If you'll notice, I'm staffing with equites. I want to build up my number of available recruits. So rather than going to patricians too quickly on a military mission, I'm going to build the insulate for production and for goods, and then get a lot of equites going so that I have I can get as big an army as I really need. So you can see right there, I got the one guy, the first guy who hit that man, he's just about gone, but he hung in there. He took a beating. So now I'm going to place my 3rd temple. So now I've got all 3 of them there. I'm going to have 100% religion in that area, and make some good money out of the Saturn and Mercury, and then I'll have that temple of Vesta around if I want to grab those alms if I need an emergency cash boost for a 20% penalty in popularity. So looking good now. This is just a basic build. This is how you would start almost any game, and so I'm going to bring these guys down here and heal them up and get myself ready. Well, you know what? I just changed my mind. I just realized I've got a vulnerability up here, because remember there's a camp up there. So I'm going to take care of that right now with my favorite way of doing it, which is basically I'm going to pop a small fort out here, and there's going to be enough towers so that I do not have to worry about him. He's going to come in, beat his head against those towers, and he will be gone. And you'll notice that little V-shaped build. That's kind of it's the way I build them. I always I build that V toward the enemy, so that I maximize the towers. And you don't want giant forts. You don't want them spread out where you have big long walls, because that separates your towers too much. And then you only have like 1, maybe 2 towers firing at the enemy. If you remember how that one was set up, there's probably going to be 6 or 8 towers popping on any enemy that shows up all at once, and that's deadly. That's really one thing that they could improve on the computer, on the AI, is that you don't want cavalry attacking towers. It just doesn't work. Eventually, they're going to die. So now that I've got my economy going, I'm going to build the basic military and get ready for that, and that's going to pretty much wrap up this first part of it. I'm going to take you through the rest of it, and we'll fast forward to the middle a little bit later. So I hope this has been helpful for you as we're coming up to the end of part 1, and I'll see you